Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers and Assistant Ministers, Honorable Leader of Opposition, Honorable Members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, special welcome, Brownie Iwi Public School, students, parents, and supporters who are here today, and of course the teachers. I'm pleased to present an update on the major achievements for the financial years 2024-2025 and 25-26 plans of the Fiji Roads Authority. This period marks significant milestone in Fiji's ongoing journey towards modern, resilient and inclusive infrastructure development, undergoing the government's unwavering commitment to fostering connectivity, safety, socio-economic fulfillment and sustainable growth. During the 2024-2025 fiscal year, the Fiji Roads Authority utilized a total of $329 million for the construction and maintenance of roads and bridges nationwide. Of this amount, $281 million was directed towards maintenance, emergency works, and renewals. $11 million was allocated for new capital programs, and $31 million supported the transport infrastructure investment sector project. These strategic allocations enable the delivery of a wide range of critical projects aimed at upgrading and maintaining Fiji's essential road networks. The FRA's efforts during the year were centered on extensive maintenance works, infrastructure enhancements, and the initiation of new capital developments, all contributing to the transformation of Fiji's transport landscape to better serve communities across the country. Throughout this period, the FRA delivered substantial infrastructure upgrades across all divisions, urban and rural and outer islands, emphasizing resilience in terms of climate change. All new structures, including roads and bridges, jetties, were designed and constructions to meet the high standards of safety and climate resilience, ensuring their durability and in increasingly severe weather events. The projects prioritize equitable access to services such as education, healthcare, markets, and employment, serving both urban and rural communities. Mr. Speaker, in the Central Division, major road upgrades under the asphalt overlay and resealing program were implemented along the Rhea Street, Lodalabe Road, Ratundobe Road, Culture Road, Princess Road, McGregor Road, and Kalambu tax-free zone, Nosori CBD, Wanimbokasi Road, and Rombuta. The total cost of delivering the above projects was $39 million, covering a total of 64 kilometers, aimed at improving road quality, enhancing safety, and extending the lifespan of critical transport infrastructure. In addition, resealing works was successfully completed along Queens Road from Pacific Harbour to Wanandoi, Sawani Serea Road, and the Seal Road extension at Cornevere Road and Ratukondabalu Road. A new link road connecting Queens Road to Namelemele Village has also been developed to further enhance connectivity and accessibility. This project, funded through the new capital access budget, was at a cost of $15.9 million, is designed to improve traffic flow and reduce travel times for road users. Other additional upgrade works continue in Seruanomosi. In Eastern Division, the upgrading of Levuka Town Main Street was prioritized to support local commerce and tourism. Under the emergency restoration works allocation, one of the major achievements in the year has been the implementation of extensive road rehabilitation works across our eastern islands in the maritime. This initiative represents a total investment of over $30 million, covering approximately 318 kilometers. These include work initiated and continuing across Lakemba, Moala, Koro, Ngau, Unombalavu, Rotuma, Vivi, and Matuku, where long neglected routes are being restored to ensure that island communities remain connected to essential services and markets. The scope of works include grading, shaping and compacting existing carriageways, clearing and desilting drains, constructing new drainage systems, replacing culverts, widening jetty causeways, building waiting sheds, and installing coastal protection through riprap to safeguard vulnerable coastal sections from erosion. Mr. Speaker, these developments are already delivering significant socio-economic benefits, improving access to healthcare, education, and markets for more than 15,000 households. Reliable and safer roads now make it easier for farmers to move produce, for students to reach schools, and for emergency services to respond promptly during adverse weather. Through these investments, we are not only improving connectivity, but also supporting livelihoods through inclusive development and that no community is left behind. Mr. Speaker, sir, on Kandavu, I've already updated Parliament on the last session and will provide an update with Taveuni at a later date. Under the Village and School Frontage Sealing and Seal Extension Program, numerous schools, villages and settlements have benefited from improved road conditions along Ratu Kandavu Road, Nanduru Road, Northo, Delta, Rombuta Village frontages, Cornevia Road, Woody Road, Punindawa Road, and Sawanisere Road. These works are not only have enhanced accessibility and safety, but also reduce dust pollution, creating a clean and healthy environment for students and village residents, especially for school students. Urban infrastructure also underwent significant revitalization, including asphalt overlay and drainage upgrades at the Suva bus stand, valued at $1.2 million to enhance passenger comfort and operational efficiency. Additionally, overlay works in key urban areas have improved road safety, accessibility, and visual appeal, supporting the government's vision of developing modern, resilient, well-connected urban areas. In the West, major road upgrades completed in the Western Division include Main Street Nandi, Rekereke and Dama sites, Nandi Bay Road, Wailalo Road, and Balawa Street, Lotoka. These roads were sealed and resurfaced, providing improved connectivity for residents. Under the emergency restoration works, key improvements were also done along Kings Road, Nambulini, Dama, and Queens Road, Mbulu, Maui Bay. These upgrades have strengthened road stability, improved safety for motorists, and ensured the continuous flow of traffic along Fiji's major transport corridors. The works also enhance access to essential services and support economic activities by providing more reliable routes, not only for commuters, but also freight operators. Under the Village and School Frontage Seal Extension, a total of $2.8 million was invested to upgrade approximately 3.6 kilometers of road frontages, including Koroni Sangana Village, Wai Kumbukumbu Village in Darvatu, Tau Village, Lolama Primary, Batukol, and Nawai Secondary School. These upgrades have significantly improved accessibility, reduced dust infiltration into schools, and a more safe and clean environment. The success of these initiatives has demonstrated the program's positive impact on communities' well-being and rural mobility. Consequently, similar projects are ongoing for implementation in the current financial year to extend such benefits. Other key works to improve village and community access continue in Nandronga, Nandi, and Bayanra. For the Northern Division, saw significant improvements in terms of overlay and road seal renewal works along Labasa's Main Street, Sabu Main Street, enhancing road quality and safety. Emergency restoration works, key rehabilitation projects were undertaken in Mainukoro, Vunivutu, Nyanrabalam, Buda Bay, Napuka, restoring vital road access, improving safety and strengthening connectivity for communities affected by especially weather-related damages. Under the Village and School Frontage Sealing, road surfacing and frontage improvements were carried out at Koro, Tolu Primary School, Solevu, Navindamu Road, Manuda Primary School, Kawakawavesi Road, Sanganga, Ngawa Primary School, Lambasa, Univau Road, Batiri Village, and Old Bowalu Road. In terms of jetty infrastructure programs, significant progress has been made with new and refurbished jetties completed on Loma Loma, Vidia, Korlevu, and Rotuma. These facilities are vital lifelines ensuring safe and reliable access to healthcare, education, and essential supplies. The ongoing upgrades are delivering wide socio-economic benefits, improved market access, and of course, enabling faster emergency responses. And with these improvements, sir, we continue to look forward to reduce the rural to urban migration and ensuring that our rural centers are at a acceptable level of development. In terms of critical bridges, and so the 3.3 million Nasiani Bridge in Ra was one of the 10 critical bridges identified, have been completed and officially open. Serving more than 200 residents, the bridge plays a key role in linking the interior of Rackeret District with Saibu District, ensuring safer travel and supporting community and economic growth. In addition, progress continues on the Waindalide Bridge, the final project among the 10 critical bridges, which is now under active construction, expected to further strengthen transport connectivity once completed. Significant project has been achieved on major infrastructure initiatives through the partnerships with Asian Development Bank and the World Bank, particularly in advancing the procurement and funding of the 4 critical bridges, as I already mentioned, Lami Menruku, VCC and Sambeto. These bridges projects are critical in enhancing road safety, regional connectivity, and economic resilience. In addition, $30 million has been allocated to advance key consultancy and design works for Mba, Rakiraki, Wailutu and Dama sections of the Kings Road, as well as Lami to Kortong section of the Queens Road, together with the design of 40 critical bridges nationwide. These initiatives lay a strong foundation for a safer, better connected and climate-resilient transport network across Fiji. For 2025-26, we acknowledge the progress and achievements of the previous year. It is equally important that we continue this work in the current financial year, 2025-26. There's a few key series of transformative initiatives. Firstly, the recruitment of critical technical support staff has already been identified as a key factor in our standing committees. Remains a strategic priority to right-size the authority and strengthen institutional capacity in engineering, maintenance, project management, and monitoring. This investment in human resources ensures that FRA can effectively deliver the government's ambitious infrastructure program and respond to the growing demands of a modern transport network. A total of $119 million has been allocated for the maintenance of the existing 6,300 kilometers of roads, including bridges, crossing, and jetties. This funding ensures that our transport assets are maintained to the required standards, enhancing safety and providing reliable access. $105 million has been committed for road and service renewals. These works continue, including seal road rehabilitation such as rip and remake, resealing, wheeling, filling, and asphalt resurfacing. This allocation includes the renewal of traffic and street lighting, and the upgrading or replacement of critical bridges across the country, such as Waindalide, as already mentioned, Koronivia, Sabu 5, Getwood Bridge, Nalele, and Nangai in Taveuni. The procurement of box culverts will further improve flood resilience and ensure safer crossings for rural communities. To enhance maritime accessibility and economic opportunity in our island communities, $15 million has been allocated and currently being utilized to commence the first phase of construction for 2 new jetties, Makonga and Koro, out of the 6 planned under this program. These jetties serve as vital lifelines, providing safe access to markets, schools, health facilities, etc. Furthermore, $72.5 million has been budgeted for new and ongoing capital projects nationwide. These include the first phase construction of the Reawuchia Road and Bridge, seal extensions in the Central Division, the sealing of Kawanangasau Road to improve agriculture access. Other major projects include the first phase construction of Fletcher Road and Ratundovi Road widening, Lambasa Tramline Bypass, Extension Street Bypass, and the upgrade of Ratsukuna Road. The FRA will undertake feasibility studies to address traffic congestion in the Central, Western, and Northern Division, paving the way for long-term urban mobility planning. An additional $18 million has been set aside for the upgrading and maintenance of 1,300 kilometers of institutional and other public roads directly benefiting schools, hospitals, government facilities, and essential community centers. With continued support of the Asian Development Bank and World Bank, $51.1 million has been allocated for the first phase construction of the 4 critical bridges, as already mentioned and identified. Finally, the $70 million Tamabuiwai Bridge project, funded through a grant from Japan International Cooperative Agency, JICA, commenced its first phase this year. Once completed, this new structure will replace the existing bridge, improve traffic flow between Suva and Lami, and significantly reduce travel times. And it will also be the first phase in enabling the 4-lane from Lami Wailukutu onwards. By modernizing and upgrading critical infrastructure, we are not only improving access and safety, but also laying the foundation for long-term economic growth. All 25-26 capital projects outlined are progressing in some form or another, and an update will be provided in Q4 of the financial year. In addition, I am pleased to advise Parliament that the preliminary technical and scoping work for the $300 million Republic of China Wanoa Level Road project, People's Republic of China Wanoa Level Road project, continue to progress satisfactorily, with the PRC and Fiji teams currently on the ground in Wanoa Level, working to conclude this exercise and have the groundbreaking in Q1 2026. Mr. Speaker, the 2025-26 infrastructure development plans are more than just fiscal upgrades. They are investments in the future of Fiji's people and embody our commitment to create a safer, healthier, and more prosperous nation. Ideally, we need to be working in a more IT or artificial intelligence enabled environment, especially in planning. And therefore, in terms, this is especially in terms of database or having dashboards of current situation and ensure that these are readily available and in an easy to read format. This would include roads, bridges, crossings, jetties, what is currently there, what is this current situation, and then superimpose upon it a vision strategic plan for roads, bridges, jetties, etc., from the period 2026 to 2056. And this is something or a plan we are currently actively working on with our development partners, specifically Australia and New Zealand, and impose this on the current dashboard so that we have a clear pathway on the way forward. Not only that, but the other second imposition or to impose on that is the strategic financing plan on that vision strategic plan 2026, in order for us to not only have a clear pathway forward, but a clear financing plan moving forward. I thank the Honourable House today for that update. Nawale.